Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Victoria and today we're talking about sourcing as a reseller. Traditionally in September, I do what I like to call Source Free September, where I work on listing unlisted inventory. That would be my death pile, or as some people call it, my money pile. And it's okay if you have one and you want to keep it. You know, I certainly understand after the pandemic what it can look like not to have a death pile. So if that is something that you enjoy keeping for security, I understand. Unfortunately, mine has continued to follow me the last couple years. I'll get it down a little bit and it picks right back up. As resellers, we know one of our favorite things to do is sourcing. It's the part of our job that is the most fun, at least for the majority of us. And that's because we get to handpick our inventory. It's like a treasure hunt. Every time we hit that thrift store or garage sale, we never know what we're gonna find. You get a bit of adrenaline. We all know the feeling. So it's hard to give up sourcing. So this month, that starts tomorrow on September 1st, I'm going to continue the tradition of Source Free September, but I am also going to do something a little different. And that is, I am going to source from my home. So as resellers, one of the main things I like to tell new resellers, and a lot of seasoned resellers will tell you, is that if you decide you want to be a reseller, you don't have to go out and purchase inventory to start your business. You can start by sourcing right at home. It's free, and at least in my case, I feel good about purging things that I no longer use or things that no longer bring me joy. So I want to invite you that if you think this sounds interesting or it might be helpful to you personally or your business or both, that you participate with me, follow along the month of September, and hopefully we both can be in a better place at the end of it all. So my purpose in doing this is, obviously this is something I normally would do. However, adding in the sourcing from home is because my house is in desperate need of organization. I'm sure most of us feel that way after the pandemic and being home for a year and a half. And then also I had a lot of things going on in my personal life that caused me to get behind on my organization. I am someone who always prided myself on my organization, and I've really fallen behind the 8 ball the last couple years, and it's just time. It's time to get it organized again. It is time to purge. Also, as a collector, I often would feel good about going through my collections and picking things that no longer brought me joy to pass on to someone else, either by selling it online or donating it to local shelters or thrift stores. And so that's what I'm gonna do, just incorporate it into Source Free September. And then I'll have room for all the new things that bring me joy. This is also going to incorporate a lot of new categories into my reselling business that I don't normally list in. So I primarily sell women's clothing and mid-century modern collectibles because that's what I collect. I do sell occasionally antiques, men's and children's, but this is going to spread me out even further. So I will be selling my children's old toys. I will be selling my husband's clothes, household appliances, anything that no longer serves my family, I am going to get rid of. So I live in a 1955 modest ranch home. I love it. There are a lot of details that have gone into this house. We did a major renovation about 10 years ago. There was a lot that had to be redone after Hurricane Katrina that had been sort of hodgepodge back together when we moved in. And so we did so much to this house. But it's gotten to be where I can't enjoy it the way I used to because there's just too much stuff in this modest house. So it's time to go. So the rules this month are gonna be no outside sourcing, obviously, to list daily, because I wanna keep my listings up even though I am working on organizing. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. And to organize my home and get rid of the things that no longer serve my family and make room for new things that will make my household a lot more efficient, that will make room for things that really make us happy now today. So for the two goals, we have both the personal side and the business. So the personal's pretty self-explanatory, and that's to get organized and to downsize what's in our house, because we have a modest house, but there's a lot of stuff in this house, a lot. And for the business side, which is why most of you are here, I am trying to reduce my death pile because it does still exist. And I'm going to show you a clip of that in just a moment of what my death pile looked like at the beginning of Source Free September. I have listed a few things from it, but basically this is what it looks like. So I'll be able to downsize my death pile, which it's just too much. I don't mind if I have a little bit at the end of this, but I would like to get rid of the majority of it. Of course, I'm going to be adding inventory by sourcing inside my home. So that's going to give me more inventory to list, and the more you have listed usually equates to more sales. So that hopefully will be a payoff that I talk about in a minute. And then another thing that I'm going to use is something I've been talking about in my videos, and I'm sorry if you're sick of hearing about it, but it's been very helpful to me, and that's Vendoo. And Vendoo did sponsor this video today. And the reason why I'm going to use Vendoo for Source Free September is because there's going to be days that I cannot list. So I am going to be busy organizing and filming for you guys, and I just may not have time to list a whole lot. And I want to be consistent in listing the entire month of September. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Vendoo to relist old listings. So Vendoo is going to be very key. So if you do not have a cross-listing software yet, you want to try one out. I do have a code in the description below for a percentage off your first month with Vendoo, and you can use my code Super Geeked and get that discount and try it out. See if you like it, see if it's helpful. For me, it's going to be very helpful because if on the days that I can't list, I can relist, and it just takes a couple clicks, super easy, and it relists on all my platforms. So grateful I have Vendoo. And that's probably going to happen to me where I'm going to have to relist at least a couple times a week because I am a busy mom of two young boys and I'm very active at their school. I'm homeroom helper in one of their classrooms this year. So we have our big Halloween carnival coming up, and I am in charge of the haunted house. And also we have to do mystery baskets. It's a big fundraiser every year. So anyway, I'm going to be busy. So Vendoo is going to be my outlet and my helper for the days I can't list. So I mentioned before that I was working on my death pile before this. Let me cut to a clip so you can see what my death pile looks like as of a couple days ago. Remember, a couple of these things have already been listed, but the majority of it is still unlisted. So this is what I'm going to start working with. Welcome to my death pile. So I have this giant box of shoes here. I have some bags, some children's clothes. That is a box of ephemera underneath this photo that I have to list. Then I have hard goods, some ties and accessories that need to be listed, jewelry. There is more hard goods in that hamper there. Then I have all these clothes, and there's more that are not hung up, but this is the majority of them. That is also another shoe box under here of shoes I have to list. So this is what I am working with of items that need to be listed. So while y'all were checking out my death pile, my camera died. Perfect timing. So as you can see, although I started working on my death pile at the end of August in preparation of Source Free September, I did not get it all done. I knew that I wouldn't get it all done, but I did get some of it listed, so that makes me feel a little better. And I don't expect all the organization in my house and all of my unlisted inventory to be listed by the time that we finish Source Free September. but I feel like if I can get in a good enough place to make a dent in both my unlisted inventory and in the organization that needs to happen at my home, it's a win-win. And hopefully the payoff is that I will have a clean and organized home, that it will motivate me to continue until it's completely done, that with having more items to list, both with my death pile and with the items that I'm sourcing directly from home, and including utilizing Vendoo to relist items the days that I can't list, that should equate to more sales. So fingers crossed, I'll have to report back at the beginning of October that Source Free September was a huge success. That's the goal. And quite frankly, I think one of the most important things as a reseller is that my inventory is going to be diversified, because I'm going to be listing things that I normally would not be outsourcing. And hopefully that's going to put me in a good position to start Q4, because y'all, the holidays are right around the corner. So this is my invitation to you to come along, follow along my journey, and also maybe try it yourself. And hopefully this can be an inspiration and motivation for you too. Thank you again to Vendoo for partnering with me on this video, and thank you guys so much for always being so supportive of me and my channel. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.